Hello, everybody, and welcome to the channel. We got some 1978 New York Yankee baseball here on the channel. And it is May 23rd, and we got the Indians in the town for a two-game series against the Yankees. Leading off for the Tribe, playing right field, Paul Dade. Batting second, playing center field, Rick Manning. Batting third, playing left field, Mike Vail. Batting fourth, doing the DH is Willie Horton. Batting fifth, playing third base is Buddy Bell. Batting sixth, playing first base, Ted Koch. Batting seventh, doing the catching is Ron Pruitt. Batting eighth, playing second base is Dwayne Kepper. Batting ninth, playing shortstop is Tom Verizon. And on the mound is Don Hood. And for the hometown New York Yankees, leading off playing center field is Mickey Rivers. Batting second, playing second, Willie Randolph. Batting third, doing the catching is Thurman Munson. Batting fourth, playing right field, Reggie Jackson. Batting fifth, playing left field, Lou Piniella. Batting sixth, playing first base, Chris Chambliss. Batting seventh, playing third base is Greg Nettles. Batting eighth and doing the DH is Cliff Johnson. Batting ninth, playing shortstop is Bucky Dent. And we got Louisiana Lightning, Ryan Guidry, on the mound for the Yankees. Let's get down here and get this game started. And you're looking live at Yankee Stadium, and Paul Dade's going to lead it off for the Indians, batting .269 with 2 homers and 13 RBIs. This is Guidry's 9th start of the year. He's 5-1 with a 1 ERA. Here's the pitch to Paul Dade, and that's going to be against the lefty, 20 and a 10, and that's going to be a ground ball down the short. Might not be. That might be a swing and a miss. That's a swing and a miss. Guidry strikes him out for out number 1. And now you got Rick Manning up. And Manning's batting .256 with a homer and 7 RBIs. And that's going to be a ground ball down the Nettles. He fires over to first for out number 1. Out number 2, rather. And Mike Vail's up now with 2 outs and nobody on, batting .250. No homers and 2 RBIs. And that's going to be a swing and a miss. The Gator strikes out 2 out of the first 3. Cleveland nothing. Yankees come to the plate with Rivers, Randolph, and Munson. Mickey's batting .233 with 2 homers and 18 RBIs going up against Don Hood. This is Hood's 9th start of the year. He's 3-4 with a 4.37 ERA. And here's the pitch to Mitch. And that's going to be against the lefty, a 12 and a 9. And that's going to be a ground ball down the Bell. He's up with it, fires over the first for out number 1. And that brings up Willie Randolph now. And Willie's off to a good start, batting .307 with a homer and 16 RBIs. And that's going to be a ground ball down to second. And that'll be out number 2. Now the captain trying to get something started here with 2 outs. Thurman Munson batting .300 with 3 homers and 22 RBIs. And that's going to be a fly ball out the Vail in left field. The Yankees go down in order. We go to the top of the second, and no score here in New York. You got Horton, Bell, and Cox due up. Willie Horton batting .209 with a homer and 7 RBIs. And that's going to be a ground ball down to second. Randolph's up with it. Fires over to Chambliss for out number 1. And that brings up Buddy Bell now. Buddy's batting .263 with a homer and 6 RBIs. And that's going to be a ground ball down the Nettles. He fires over to first. 2 quick outs here in the second for Guidry. And that brings up Ted Koch, batting a $115, no homers and 2 RBIs. And that's going to be a fly ball. Nope, that's going to be a swing and a miss. He strikes him out. That'll be out number 3. And we go to the bottom of the second. We got Jackson, Piniella, and Chambliss. Reggie batting .340 on the year with 15 homers and 34 RBIs, off to a great start. And that's going to be a base on balls. They don't want nothing to do with Chambliss. Jackson. So that brings up Piniella now with a runner down at first and nobody out. And Pinella's off to a great start too, batting .352, 2 homers and 19 RBIs. And that's going to be against the lefty, a 6. And that is a 7. Yep, that's going to be a single in the right field. And Dade out there, he's got a good arm. Let's see here. Single in the right field. A 4. That'll be a 41. Nobody out. Jackson probably stops at second here. 27. 53 or lower. Do we chance it? 53 or lower gets him over there. We're going to keep him at second. No use getting thrown out at third here. So first and second, nobody out for Chris Chambliss. Chambliss can drive somebody in here. First and second, Jackson down there. Great speed down there at second. And Piniella with not very good speed to be nice at first. Chambliss batting .294, 2 homers and 25 RBIs. And that is not what you want. That's going to be a fly ball out the left field. 52, I don't be feeling column 1. And re-rolling dice here. And I don't think he's going to tag up, not on the 26. Nope. So that's going to be a fly ball out the left. Now there's 1 out. It's up to Greg Nettles now with 1 out. And Jackson's still down there at second. And Nettles is batting .284, 8 homers and 26 RBIs. And that's going to be against the lefty. 14, 7. And that's going to be a single in the left field, and that'll score Reggie easily. And Piniella will stop at second, so that's an RBI single. And it's still first and second for Cliff Johnson now, and the Yankees are up 1-0. And Cliff Johnson's batting a $167. He's got 2 homers and 5 RBIs. And that's going to be a 38. That's going to be a rare play. Runners on first and second on a 38. Runners on first and second, a 38. 22 and a 38. That'll be 16. The ball will be hit down the third to Buddy Bell. And that's going to be a first and second on wild throw. 1 runner scores. Other the third. S on first is out at third. So Nettles is out at third. So that's going to be a error on him. Runner on second's going to score. Runner on first is going to be out at third. Out at third. And the batter will be at first now. So now it's 2-0. We got a runner on first and 2 outs for Bucky Dent. And the Yankees now leading 2-0. Bucky Dent batting .299 on the year with a homer and 15 RBIs. And that's going to be a fly ball out to Dade in right field. That'll end the inning, but the Yankees score 2. Take a 2-0 lead into the top of the third. We got the bottom part of the order due up here for the Tribe. Pruitt, Kuiper, and
Verizon
due up here. So Pruitt is batting 165, 3 homers and 8 RBIs. And that's going to be a ground ball down the second. Randolph's up with it, fires over to first for out number 1. And up to the plate now is Kuiper. And Kuiper is batting 320 on the year, 2 homers, 7 RBIs. And that's going to be another ground ball down to Randolph. 2 ground balls to second, 2 outs. And Verizon's up now. And he's batting 235 with a homer and 2 RBIs. And that's going to be a ground ball out in front of the plate. Munson's up with it quickly. He fires down the first. And that'll be out number 3. 1, 2, 3 goes to Tribe. To the bottom of the third we go. We got the top of the order due up here for the Yankees, leading this game 2-0. Rivers grounded out the third his first time up. And that's going to be against the lefty. Against the lefty, a 12 on a 9. That's going to be a ground ball down the Bell. He's up with it. He fires over to first for out number 1. And Willie Randolph's up now. Willie grounded out his counterpart at second the first time up. And that's going to be a ground ball down the second. And that's going to be an E4. And Willie's aboard here with an error. 2 errors in the game by the Tribe. Let's see if the Yankees can capitalize on this error. They did on the last one. 1 run scored. Thurman Munson up now. He flew out to left field. Let's see here. Willie will probably be taken off at D. We're down. So here's the pitch to Munson. And that's going to be a pop up down the third. And Bell calls for it and makes the catch for out number 2. So it's up to Reggie here to do something with Willie down there at first. And Reggie walked his first time up. And that's going to be a ground ball. Nope, that's going to be, that's an HB0. They hit Reggie. Hit Reggie. That ain't good. The Yankees are not happy with that, folks. Reggie Jackson. Now you got first and second. 2 outs for Lou Piniella. Can he make them pay for hitting Reggie? He singled and came around the score back in the second. And that's going to be a fly ball out to Dade in right field. That'll end the inning. Yankees strand 2 to the top of the 4th we go. And speaking of Dade, we got the top of the order leading off Dade, Manning, and Vale against the Gator. And Dade, he struck out his first time up. And that's going to be a ground ball down the Nettles. He fires over to first for out number 1. And Manning's up now. He grounded out the third his first time up. And that's going to be a swing and a miss. He strikes him out. Manning strikes out. And that is the 4th strikeout for GUIDRY here in the 4th. And Mike Vale's up. He struck out his first time up. And that's going to be a swing and a miss. Back-to-back strikeouts by the Gator. He's cruising through 4th. We go to the bottom of the 4th. It's still 2-0 Yankees. Chambliss, Nettles, and Johnson due up. As you can see, the Yankees' upcoming schedule. They got one more game here with Cleveland. Then they play a 4-game series with the Blue Jays here in Yankee Stadium. Chambliss 0 for 1. He flew out the left his first time up. And that's going to be a ground ball down the bell for out number 1. Brings Greg Nettles to the plate. He's 1 for 1 today. He had an RBI single back in the second. And that's going to be a swing and a miss. Nettles goes down swinging for out number 2. And here comes old Cliff Johnson up now. And he reached on an error his first time up. And that's going to be a swing and a miss. Back-to-back strikeouts for Hood. And that ends the 4th. To the top of the 5th we go. We got Horton, Bell, and Cox due up. Willie grounded out the second his first time up. And that's going to be a 22. That is going to be a ground ball down the second. Randolph's got it. Second time he's hit the ball to Randolph. Second time Willie's gotten him out. Brings up Buddy Bell. Buddy grounded out the third his first time up. And that's going to be another ground ball down the second. And Willie's up to the task again. 2 grounders the second, 2 outs here in this 5th. And Ted Koch is up now. And he struck out his first time up. And that's going to be 3 ground balls the second and 3 outs. Willie Randolph sets a record tied by many. 3 assists in 1 inning. And we go to the bottom of the 5th. We got Denton due up, followed by Rivers and Randolph. And you can see the team comparisons. The Indians are 13 and 24. They scored 130 runs on 37 homers, 8 stolen bases, and have been caught 10 times. Yankees are 27 and 10, 209 runs, 66 homers, 19 stolen bases, and been caught 6 times. Bucky flew out the right his first time up. And that's going to be a ground ball down the bell. And that's out number 1. Back to the top of the order we go. And Mickey Rivers and Mix 0 for 2. 2 ground balls down the third. And that's going to be against lefty, 12. And that's going to be a base hit in the left field. Mickey River gets aboard here with 1 out. Rivers down at first. And you got Willie Randolph up. I think they might do a little hit and run here, trying to stay out of the double play. 35 on a hit and run. Striking a runner's going to steal second. Well, let's see here. A 51 and a 6. Got to see here. A 51 and a 6. He might not steal. 51 and a 6. Yeah, he steals second. Mickey Rivers gets down to second on a stolen base. Strike 1 on Randolph. So here's the 0-1 pitch now with a runner down at second. And that's going to be a swing and a miss. Randolph strikes out. Now there's 2 outs. Rivers down at second for Thurman Munson. Can Munson deliver here and increase this lead to 3-0? Munson has flown out and popped up. And that's going to be a ground ball down to first. 34 and a 2. It's probably fielding column 3. Yep. That'll be a ground ball down the first. Cox is up with it, tosses it over to Hood covering. Yankees strand Rivers at second. We go to the 6th. It's still 2-0 New York. We got Pruitt, Kuiper, and
Verizon
due up here. And Pruitt is 0 for 1. He's grounded out. And that's going to be a ground ball back to GUIDRY. He's up with it. He fires over to first for out number 1. And Dwayne Kuiper's up now. With 1 down and nobody on. And Kuiper, he grounded out to second his first time up. And that's going to be a swing and a miss. GUIDRY strikes him out for out number 2. GUIDRY's 6th strikeout of the game. For Risers up now. He grounded out to Munson his first time up. And that's going to be a fly ball. That's going to be another swing and a miss. GUIDRY strikes him out. And that'll end the inning. To the bottom of the 6th we go. We got the big boys due up now. Jackson, Piniella, and Chambliss. Reggie has walked and been hit by a pitch. And that's going to be a deep fly ball out the right field. Wade's got it near the track. Makes the catch for out number 1. And Sweet Lou's up. Lou Piniella's 1 for 2. Singled and came around the score in the 2nd. And that's going to be a ground ball down the Cox at first. He takes it himself for out number 2. And now Chris Chambliss is up, 2 outs and nobody on. He's flown out and grounded out. And that's going to be a base on balls. And Chambliss is down at first with 2 outs for Greg Nettles. Let's see if they can make him pay for the walk here, folks. And Chambliss down at first. Nettles is 1 for 2 with an RBI single in the 2nd. And that's going to be a ground ball back to them. Nope, that's going to be a swing and a miss. He strikes him out, folks. Nettles goes down swinging. That ends the 6th. To the top of the 7th we go. Still 2-0 Yankees. Top of the order due up here for the Tribe. Dave, Manning, and Vale. As you can see, the Indians are batting .249 with a .314 on-base percentage, slugging .371 and an OPS of .685. Yankees are batting .290 on the year with a .349 on-base percentage, a .400 slugging, and a .749 OPS. And Wade is struck out and grounded out. And that's going to be a ground ball out in front of the plate. Munson's up to the task. He fires down the first. That'll be out number 1. And Manning's up now. And Manning is 0 for 2. He's grounded out and struck out. And that's going to be a comebacker to GUIDRY. He fires over to Chambliss for out number 2. And Mike Vale is up. And Vale's 0 for 2. He struck out twice against the Gators. And not this time. He squares it up. And there goes the no-hitter, folks. There goes the no-hitter. And that's going to be driven into the gap in right field. That'll drop down for a double. So now you got a runner down at second and 2 outs and a tying run to the plate. And Willie Horton, he is 0 for 2. He's grounded out to second twice. And that's going to be a fly ball out to Piniella. That'll end the inning. The Indians get their first hit of the game, but he goes nowhere. We go to the 7th inning stretch. It's 2-0 New York. As you can see, the Indians have struck out 185 times, walked 142, hit 63 doubles and 12 triples. Yankees have struck out 268 times, walked 184 times, hit 102 doubles and 24 triples. You got the bottom part of the order due up here, Johnson and Dent. Then we go back to the top and Mickey. Cliff is 0 for 2. He has reached on a error and struck out. And that's going to be a rare play of 52 on a 36. And that's going to be ball 1. Here's the 1-0 pitch to Cliff. See if he can take advantage of it. And that's going to be a ground ball down the Kuiper at second. Over to Cox for out number 1. And Bucky Dent's up now. Bucky's over 2. He's flown out and grounded out. And that's going to be a ground ball back to Hood. He fires over to first for out number 2. Back to the top of the order, and Mickey Rivers. Rivers is 1 for 3 today. He has a single and a stolen base. And that's going to be an infield hit. So Mickey's aboard again. He's standing down at first now with 2 outs. Let's see if Mickey's going to take off. I think Mickey is. And there's no way they can throw him out. So Mick's down at second with 2 outs. And Randolph's up, and Willie is 0 for 3. Can he drive him in? He has reached on an error, grounded out and struck out. And that's going to be a base on balls. So all of a sudden, the Yankees making some noise here in the bottom of the 7th with 2 outs. See if Thurman can deliver here. A single will definitely score Rivers from second. A double probably scores Randolph from first. And Munson's 0 for 3. Flown out, popped up, and grounded out. And that's going to be a ground ball down the third. 34 and a 5. Probably going to be fielding column 1. And it is. And that's going to be a nice play down there by Bell. He comes up with it, fires over to first, and gets Munson. And the Yankees strand 2 more. We go to the top of the 8th. It's 2-0 New York. We got Bell, Cox, and Pruitt due up here in the 8th. Buddy is 0 for 2. He's grounded out twice. And he gets a hold of this one off of GUIDRY. See where this one ends up at. And that ball is in the right field for a double. And Buddy Bell's down at second with nobody out. Tying run comes to the plate. And Mr. Cox, he is 0 for 2. He is struck out and grounded out. And that's going to be a fly ball out the left field. Lou's got it for out number 1. And with Bell's speed, he's going to stay put. Ron Pruitt's up now. He's 0 for 2. He's grounded out twice. And that's going to be a fly ball out the left field. And again, Lou makes the catch. And now there's 2 outs and a runner still down there at second. And it's up to Kuiper to do some damage here. He's 0 for 2. He's grounded out and struck out. And he doesn't this time. That's going to be a 7 against a 25. And that's going to be a single in the right field. And with 2 outs, let's see here if he scores with 2 outs. It'll be a 52 minus a 33 plus 9, 28. Can Reggie throw him out here? A 28 will be a 54 or lower. And he's in there. So that's an RBI single by Kuiper. And that makes it a 2-1 ball game. The Tribe cuts the lead in half here in the 8th. And Gator's shaking his head here now.
Verizon.
As Verizon steps up to the plate with 2 outs and a runner down at first. He's 0 for 2. He's grounded out and struck out. And that's going to be a 21, and that's going to be a ground ball down the second. Randolph's up with it. He fires over to first. And that'll end the inning. But the Tribe scores 1. It's now 2-1. We go to the bottom of the 8th. Big boys are due up here. His Hood's pitching a damn good game, too. You got Jackson, Pinella, and Chambliss due up. Reggie's 0 for 1. He has been hit by a pitch and walked and flew out. And that's going to be a ground ball down the first for out number 1. You see the Indians' upcoming schedule. They got 1 more game here in New York, and then they go to Baltimore, take on the Orioles for 2. Lou is 1 for 3. He came around the score back in the second. And that's going to be a ground ball down the Bell. He's up with it for out number 2. It's up to Chambliss to try to get an insurance run here for the Yankees. He's 0 for 2. He walked back in the 6th. And that's going to be a fly ball out to Manning in center. And that's a 1-2-3-8. We go to the top of the 9th, the top of the order due up here against GUIDRY. Wade, Manning, and Vail. Yankees got a 2-1 lead. Dade is 0 for 3. He struck out and grounded out twice. And that's going to be a base on balls. You don't want that. He just walked the tie and run. Now the go-ahead runs at the plate. That is the first walk of the ball game by GUIDRY. Manning's up now. He's 0 for 3. He has struck out and grounded out twice. And that's going to be a fly ball out to Rivers for out number 1. See if he can get Mike Vail to hit into a ground ball double play to end this game. He's 1 for 3. He struck out twice and doubled. He got the first hit off of GUIDRY, and that's a tailor-made double play ball hit down the short. Bucky dents up with it. 6 over to Randolph for 4 over to Chambliss. 6-4-3 double play ends the game. And the Yankees win 2-1 behind a masterpiece of a job by the Gator. Take a look here at this box score, folks. Indians 1 run on 3 hits and 2 errors. Yankees 2 runs on 4 hits. 3 hits were by Vail, Bell, and Kuiper. Indians were 1 for 4 with runners in scoring position. Only left 2 men on base. Willie Randolph, the only Yankee with multiple hit game, he was 2 for 4. Yankees were 2 for 7 with runners in scoring position. And Hood picks up the loss. He drops to 3 and 5, 8 innings, 4 hits, 2 runs. Only one of them earned. Costly error out there by, who was that? That was who had the error? That was Kuiper had the costly error. Yep. And the Gator goes the distance. He goes to 6-1 as Clinton Parks joins us. I hear you. I hear you, Clinton. The Gator goes to 6-1, gets a complete game, 3-hitter, 1 run, 1 walk, and struck out 7. Crazy part is his ERA goes from 1 up to 2.95. That don't make no sense. Must be the team ERA. Yeah. And let's take a look here at the rest of the games in the American League. We got the Tigers taking on the Orioles in Baltimore. And Thompson for the Tigers hit a grand slam and they lost. The Orioles 13 runs on 18 hits. The Tigers 6 runs, 10 hits, and 1 error. Then we got the White Sox taking on the Angels out in California. Got the Ryan Express going out there. And the Angels win. Let's see what this star is about. Nolan Ryan struck out 13 batters, folks, in the win. Angels 8 runs, 15 hits, and no errors. The White Sox 2 runs, 7 hits, and no errors. Got the Rangers traveling up to Minnesota to take on the Twins. And the Twins win a close one. As a walk-off? Nope, the Twins had 4 errors and still won the game. The Twins 9 runs, 12 hits, and 4 errors. The Rangers 8 runs, 8 hits, and 2 errors. Then you got the Brew Crew traveling out to Oakland to take on the A's. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you're right with old Nolan Ryan. Yeah. And the Brewers shut out the A's. 2 runs, 8 hits, and no errors. And the A's, no runs, 4 hits, and no errors. Then you got Kansas City traveling to Seattle to take on the Mariners. And that's going to be a doubleheader. Here's the first of 2. And the Mariners win a close one. And they win in walk-off style. 8 runs, 17 hits, and an error. Kansas City, 7 runs, 12 hits, and 2 errors. Can KC bounce back and split this doubleheader? And they do. They shut out the Mariners. On 3 runs, 11 hits, and 2 errors for KC. The Mariners, no runs, 4 hits, and 1 error. Then we got the Red Sox taking on the Blue Jays for the final game here on the 23rd. And the Red Sox shut out the Jays. A lot of shutouts this day in the American League. And that was a walk-off win for the Blue Jays. 5 runs, 8 hits, and no errors. The Red Sox, 2 runs, 8 hits, and 1 error. Now let's take a look at the standings and the leaderboard here. The Yankees are now 3.5 games up on the Red Sox, 6 games up on the Brewers. Tigers are 8 back. The Blue Jays 9.5. Orioles 13, and the Lonely Indians are 15. The Minnesota Twins are 3.5 games up on the A's and White Sox. The Angels are 4.5 games back. Kansas City 5, Texas 5.5, and Lonely Seattle is 10.5. Sure way. Sorry about that. I thought I was going to sneeze. You got Jim Rice leading the American League with a 362 average. You got Reggie Jackson with 15 homers and Jim Rice with 43 RBIs. You got Ryan Guidry leading the American League with that .1 ERA. You got 1, 2, how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 pitchers, 8 pitchers with 6 wins. The Goose with 10 saves. Jim Rice is leading in MVP voting, and the Gator is leading in the Cy Young voting. And let's see here what the next game will be here with the Yankees and the Indians. So the Yankees don't play on the 24th. So let's play these games out in the American League. You got the Tigers taking on the Orioles. El Presidente going for the Orioles. Dennis Martinez. And the Tigers beat the Orioles 5 runs, 9 hits, 1 error. The Orioles 3 runs, 4 hits, and 1 error. Oh, Rusty Staub 2 for 4. And it's a double hitter. Jim Palmer going for the second game. Can the Orioles bounce back and take one out of these 2 at Baltimore? And no, the Tigers sweep the doubleheader and beat up on Jim Palmer. See here, Thompson hits an inside the park home run. He just hit a grand slam the day 4, and he hit a second grand slam. Back-to-back days, he hit a grand slam. Thompson is on fire, folks. Staub was 5 for 6. Rusty Staub had a hell of a day, folks. He was 7 for 10 with 7 RBIs. We got the White Sox taking on the Angels out in Anaheim. Sure. And the White Sox beat the Angels 9 runs, 16 hits, and no errors. The Angels 4 runs, 11 hits, and 1 error. Got the Rangers taking on the Twins. And the Rangers shut out the Twins. Is that what the star's for? Yep. 2 runs on 6 hits and 2 errors. The Twins managed 2 hits, can't score, no errors. And then you got the Brew Crew taking on the A's. And the A's come through with a 4-2 win, 7 hits, no errors. And the Brewers 2-11-1. And then you got Kansas City up there in the mountains of Washington and Seattle. See what happens up here in Seattle, Washington. And the Kansas City Royals pound the Mariners. The Mariners turned 4 double plays and still got their butts beat bad. Darn. Kansas City 10 runs on 19 hits and 1 error. The Mariners 1 run on 3 hits and 1 error. And the last game here on the 24th is the Red Sox and Blue Jays. And the Blue Jays beat the Red Sox. Freddie Lynn hit a grand slam. The only 4 runs for the Red Sox. 4 runs, 6 hits, and no errors. Blue Jays 6 runs, 15 hits, and no errors. We'll take another look at the box score and all. And the next pitching matchup for the Indians and Yankees is Watts against Tedrow. Now let's take a look at the standings after the 24th. The Yankees are now 4 games up on Boston. Boston on a 3-game losing streak. Brewers are 6.5 games back. Tigers 7. The Jays are 9. Orioles are 14. And the Indians are 15. The Twins are now 2.5 games up on the White Sox and A's. Kansas City 4 games back. The Angels and Rangers 4.5. And the Mariners a distant 10.5 holding the rest of the league up. And Jerry Rime takes over the batting league. As you can see, Boston's tearing it up. You got Rice and Jerry with a 362 batting average. Reggie still leading the league with 15 homers, and Rice with his 43 RBIs. Gator still leading with that 1 ERA. See if anybody, how many was there? 8 before? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now we got 9 pitchers with 6 wins. And the Goose still with his 10 saves. Jim Rice still leading in the most valuable player. And GUIDRY still leading in the Cy Young. I want to thank Clinton Parks for joining us here today. Like I say, the next game in this series we'll have Watts against Tedrow. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Hit that bell for reminders. And on your way out of Yankee Stadium, hit that like button and leave a comment. Till next time, y'all have a great day and take care.